Hello,
Hi, who is this?
this is Chris.
Hey, Bruce. This is Cathy Pratt from the Indiana Resource Center for Autism.
Hello, how are you today?
Fine, how can I help you?
Um, one moment. Let me get close to some information here that I got. Um, all right. How are you today?
I'm good.
All right. I'm trying to essentially from my research, what I can tell, the Autism Resource Center is located at IU Bloomington, correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And this just so happens to be where IU Moore Law is. Um,
Where are you? What is?
Moorer School of Law,
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
one of the
it
top
is.
10 public law schools in the country, from what I read. Um, and what I'm sort of trying to find information in regards to is Indiana Code 353612, which is a court appointed forensic advocate for individuals who have developmental disabilities, intellectual disabilities, autism spectrum disorder, that are charged with a criminal matter and are interacting with the judicial system in Indiana. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Now, from what I've been able to find out through my research, it's funded. Um, it says a court of. It's defined as. Excuse me one moment. I'm looking for a very specific paper here. Um, okay, it's under Indiana Code 3531.5 to 68.5, effective July 2015. Um, it's defined as a community volunteer who has completed a training program approved by the court that includes training with autism as well as evidence based treatment and counseling programs. They've been appointed by the court to assist the person charged in the criminal matter. And then specifically, number 3 here, section B3, is they may research, examine, advocate, facilitate, and monitor the situation of a person with an intellectual disability, a developmental disability, or an autism spectrum disorder who has been charged with a criminal offense. Um, from what I can gather, this program, the only source of funding I can find for a program like this is found in Indiana Code 111224G6, which is Indiana's state statutes regarding community corrections advisory boards, as well
Mm-hmm.
as things that my county commission would fund. Um, so basically, I've been appointed a court appointed forensic advocate by a one Judge Michael Bergerson of LaPorte Superior Court 1. Um,
Okay.
this appointment would have been granted on December 20th of 2018. Um, December 28th, 2018, there's a docket entry in regards to an email about the appointment of an autism advocate to the Indiana Disability Rights Organization. Um,
Right.
and then I believe I haven't seen these emails yet. I'm just basing it off of my knowledge of the case. I On January 2nd, there's a email response from Indiana Disability Rights to this Judge Michael Bergerson. Um, I spoke with Indiana Disability Rights information and referral coordinator Dan Ward on January 3rd. They ultimately told me that this is not something that their agency doesn't handle court appointed forensic advocates. So they referred me to the Northeast Autism Society of Indiana. And I spoke with her today, Mrs. Samantha Drudge. But also through the course of my search today, I spoke with the Indiana Governor's Council for People with Disabilities. I left a message with the. Essentially, it looks to me, based upon the mission statement and what the Indiana Disability Rights Organization does, that they would actually be perfect for this. And initially, when I spoke them, I was sort of, going off the information of their website and their Facebook, the public info that they've put out, and based upon the things that they said they've covered, previous testimonies, it seemed like that this was exactly who I needed to talk to. And then I was somewhat disappointed when they later told me that this wasn't something that they were involved in.
Mm-hmm.
However, I've noticed that it looks as if the proper organization is possibly connected in some way, shape, or form to your organization as well as the Indiana Disability Rights. And I'm just trying to track down who essentially does this because
I
th-
have no idea. I have
there's
no idea.
there's some overlap with, I noticed, like, the ADA Indiana Steering Committee, um, as well as a few other organizations. It seems that some individuals that are involved with some organizations are connected to other organizations and things of this nature. So I'm not really sure how to get that information to the correct person, but my concern is that I wasn't necessarily denied on any personal reasoning. I'm essentially finding out that this is a program that hasn't been expanded to its full potential yet, which is, it's not necessarily anything that's anybody's fault or anything. I just I've found that it seems I can't find any precedent or any other cases where this has happened. I understand it's fairly new, but it's a couple years old, and I I can't locate anything other than in the Indiana codes that actually defines it all as and it says funding and precludes the individual from civil liability, but the training program is not defined. Now,
And
ultimately,
Chris, before you go on, I have no idea about it. I don't
um,
know where it is. I don't know what happened to it. I would have connected you to the Indiana Disability Rights Network. So they don't know about it either. That would be the logical place. I don't handle any legal advocacy stuff. We are
um,
a training and technical assistance program. We develop and disseminate information, but we don't do any legal work.
um, now what I'm wondering is there is there someone that would sort of liaison,
I
like a,
have no idea. I have no idea. I really
to
don't know.
IU
I don't
Bloomington
know.
as a whole? Okay.
I don't. I don't know who that would be. If for that legislation, I have no idea. Indiana University is not involved with it, so I don't know where that went to once the legislation was put into place. I would assume that it would be Indiana Disability Rights Network. It wouldn't be the law school because it's an educational institution, so I don't know where it went. I'm sorry, I can't help you. I just don't know.
I mean, I was more trying to figure. I thought maybe I would assume a training program for an autism advocate in the courtroom. Honestly, the best place in Indiana would be at IU Bloomington, in my opinion. But that's sort of why I was called. Where my motivation to call was, where I sort of figured that would be the best
Yeah,
place for this program if it existed. Um,
yeah. I don't know anything about it.
all right. Well, thank you very much. Just the same.
You're welcome. I'm so sorry I can't help more. But
Um,
it would be interesting to see what happened with it, but I have no idea.
If I can find out, I'll try to get back a hold of you and let you know. Um,
Okay, thank you so much.
you're very welcome. Thank you. Have a nice day.